Hello FlossTube, my name is Leann and I am leann.stitches here on YouTube and on Instagram. Today is Sunday, May 8th, 2022. Sorry, it took me a second to remember that. I didn't prep for that at all. I have no idea what FlossTube number it is. So just check the title and it'll tell you. I just know that my husband and the kids just left the house to go bring Mother's Day cards to my mother-in-law next door. And so I am taking this opportunity to film because it has been 4 weeks since my last video. And I probably have a whole lot more to show you than I'm going to show you, but it's been 4 months since I've used my planner. So I really have no idea what I've been stitching on other than the past couple of weeks. So we'll see if I show you everything I actually worked on or if this is a complete disaster. Only time will tell. Anyway, let's just get to the stitching. I have no idea what I was about to say. So let's go back to let's just get with the stitching. The first piece I'm going to show you is Consider the Lilies by Heartstring Samplery. And I made a goal to do 1 page a month on this, and I don't know how many pages I've done this year, but it is not 1 page a month, but I'm enjoying it, and that's about all I could ask for right now. So here's where I'm at. Ooh, had it folded all nifty, but it fell. So there it is. And I think I've gotten about half of a page. No, not even half of a page since I showed it to you last. I did the words. I think before I just had consider, and so I did the lilies of, and then I did this one, this little turkey, because he is adorable, and this flower right there. So that's all I've gotten done, but I've been working on a lot of other stuff, so it is what it is. I will go into my May plans in a little bit, but I decided that I'm going to stitch on this on Sundays in May, possibly Sundays in perpetuity until it is finished. I don't really know, but so I'm going to work on this today and see if I can come close to getting another page done. The next piece I have to show you is Sea Glass by Carolyn Manning. And so last time I filmed, I said that I had wanted to work on one of my full coverage pieces and I didn't know which one. So my friend Sam of Sammy Liz, she said to just work on my oldest one. So I did. And then after that worked really well because I had a lot of fun, I decided, well, let me work on my next oldest one. So I did, and that is Sea Glass. And I can't remember how many stitches I got done on this because it's been so long. And I honestly don't even know what I worked on since it's been so long. So we'll just try to find a side-by-side picture. Even though I don't remember the last time I worked on this, it was probably February. I know I've done it some point this year. So I'm gonna try to find a before picture for you. But basically, I'm just filling in. I just kind of pick whatever empty spot is next and I pull it up on Pattern Keeper. And then I stitch until I run out of thread on a 1 yard piece, all 6 strands, if that makes sense. I am stitching this on a 14 count Ada in the colorway Silver Moon. So yeah, there's that one. The Consider the Lilies, I'm stitching on a 28 count Cashel, hand dyed by me. I don't have the colorway up in the shop. It is called Meadow. I've only re-dyed it one other time, and that's for Zan of Crazy Bandlading Stitches because she wanted to stitch Consider the Lilies on the same fabric that I was, so I dyed it for her. I just haven't had a chance to get it dyed up en masse. The next piece I have to show you is a New Start. It is Sir Thomas, and it is by Glendon Place. Hopefully you can see that without too much glare. I probably should have taken it out of the package. I am stitching this fully enabled by Sarah of Memphis, Sarah E. She bought the full kit at Nashville Market and had a long talk with the owner of Glendon Place. Her name is escaping me. I'm looking down to see if I can find it. Cheryl. She had a long talk with Cheryl at Nashville. That was fabulous. And I resisted and resisted and resisted, and then she started stitching on it, and I couldn't resist anymore. So let me just make sure I'm showing this to you the right way. There it is. I stitched on this for 3 or 4 days, 2 or 3 days. I don't really know. It's really fun. I really loved this right in here. I don't know if you can tell, it's sparkly. It's all of the floss is Sullivan's, and she did that because there's so many colors in it. She wanted to make it a little bit cheaper. And then the sparkle, which there is tons of sparkle, is all Rainbow Gallery. And this one, this darker silver, is Silk Lame, I think is what it is. And it was so much fun to stitch with. And then I switched over to this, and it's not silk, and it is not as much fun to stitch. And so that's where I stopped. I don't have any plans for this year, honestly. I'll just pull it out when I feel like it. Maybe I'll stitch on it more in the fall when I feel like Thanksgiving. But yeah. Okay, so that's all. Honestly, that's all I remember stitching on before May happened. It doesn't feel like very much. I don't know why. That's all it is. It is what it is. But I have big May plans, and it is now the beginning of the second week of May. And so I've had a full week of the May plans, and I'm really loving them so far. So if you follow me on Instagram, you might have gotten a hint of what I'm planning to do already. I am calling it #Marvelous Mirabilia May. And I'm kind of combining a couple things with that. Like, I know a lot of people are doing a Mirabilia May where they are focusing on their Mirabilias. And I love that idea because I currently have 4 on the go, and 2 are really close to a finish, and 2 are not. So I thought that if I could get those 2 close to a finish, if I could get them finished or basically finish them by next month, then maybe I could start a new one, because the 2 that I have that are not close to a finish are both Christmas. And so I'd like to have one that's not Christmas, just so in case I feel like working on something else, I could have it. And plus also the 2 that are not Christmas are smaller ones. And I'll show you what I mean, because I'm going to show them both to you in a minute. But anyway, so I am working on Mirabilias. I have 4 Mirabilias, so 4 weeks. I'm working on them Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'm going to be working on Marvel Heroes, because I had a big goal to finish it this year, and I have not wanted to stitch on it all year long. I have been struggling to finish page 6 since last year. And I really just haven't felt like picking it up at all. And part of that is because of my pattern keeper woes. If you have been following me for a while, you'll know all about those. If you haven't been, my pattern is not pattern keeper compatible. I always say compliant instead of compatible. I think it's the accountant in me. Anyway, I had 1 page. So what I do is I import 1 page of the PDF at a time into Photoshop, and then I export it back out as a PDF so that I have a single page. And then I upload that single page into Pattern Keeper. And I don't really know why I do this instead of the entire PDF. Anyway, and one time on page 5, Pattern Keeper read the page, and it was like a big tease because that page was the easiest one to stitch. It was so easy and so much fun. And then it has refused to read another page ever since. And so I think that's why I've been struggling. And I did buy the app Markup RXP or something like that. But I'm now having issues with it. And so I was planning to use that to read the next page because it was working really great. And now it's not working. And my mom sent me her iPad that I bought for her that she doesn't use. And so I'm planning to download the app on the iPad and see if I can make it work there as opposed to my phone. But my husband promptly stole it from me when it arrived in the house and then ran down the battery, and I have not recharged it. So anyway, Marvel. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Mirabilia. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Marvel, which also works with my Superhero Saturday Sal hashtag that I started last year, because I normally stitch my Marvel piece on Saturdays. So it all works together. And then on Sundays, like I said earlier, I want to stitch on Consider the Lilies. And then on top of that, I am trying to catch up on my temperature butterflies chart, and I'm almost there. And when I catch up with that, I'm then gonna try to catch up with the other two pieces that I had monthly goals on this week. One is the vintage black sampler by Owl Forest that I'm stitching with Sam from Sammy Liz. I was supposed to be trying to do 2,000 stitches a month, and I petered out in February when work got busy. And I think I'm around 3,500 stitches, if that. So I would really like to get caught up on that. And then there's also the Sal means Stitch Along, by the way. There is also the Sal from Victoria Sampler. It was their free Stitch Along last year in their Facebook group. And so I downloaded it all last year, and I had planned to do it month by month this year. And again, I fell off in February because work got busy. So I'm going to try, that's like those three pieces. I'm going to work one at a time and try to catch up on those. So let me go ahead and show you Temperature Butterflies. This is by Stitchin' Mommy. And it's just, it's one of those temperature charts. If you haven't seen them before, basically each butterfly represents 1 month, and each part of the wing are the temperatures. And I am using the varied chart because we get down into the 30s in winter, and we get down into the we get up into the upper 90s, sometimes triple digits in the summer. So I need that full range. Oh, I didn't take it off the Q-snap. So I was back in February. You're gonna see a theme here. And I caught up, I finished the February butterfly, I finished the March butterfly, and then I had started outlining the April butterfly previously, and I just put one full string into it yesterday, and so today I'll put another string in, and hopefully that will almost finish the butterfly, and then I can start throwing in the temperatures for April. I'm kind of actually liking doing a full month at a time instead of day by day or bit by bit, because I can do all of the temperature, all of the days in one color at the same time. And it makes it a little more enjoyable to stitch than switching out the string so many times. Even when I was doing it in a week, you know, in that week I could have 7 different colors that I had to use. So I'm kind of liking this. So yeah, I don't know how many more days it will take me. Hopefully I will be caught up when I film again, if I film again next week, and then I can start working on, I haven't decided if I'm gonna do the vintage black sampler or the Victoria Sampler Sal yet, but hopefully I'll get to start working on that next week. So that's that. So the first thing I do when I sit down to stitch, sometimes it is after work, before I have to take kids to activities or before I make dinner. I can do that. So that's the first thing I do. The second thing I do is I am working on BZ Spring, and this is a Sal for my friend Zan of Crazy Band Lady Stitches. Her birthday is this month, and so I started this on May 1st. She had previously started it, and she's now stitching along with me. The second thing I do is I put one thread into this before I start working on my main piece for the day. Is that all I was gonna say about that? Oh, her hashtag is Zan's B-E-E Day Sal. I'll put it up there. And here's where I'm at with this. And I love this chart. You know, if you've been watching me this year, I am having a complete obsessive episode over cottage garden samplings. I love everything she has put out. So I'm having a lot of fun with this. And I started with the sunflower, and I did this for a full day on May 1st because that was the day I started it, and I got the majority of the sunflower done. And then after that is when I started doing one thread a day. So like one day I did these leaves, and then the next day I did these wings, and then the next day I did the black on the bee, which that's where my thread ran out, so I still have more to go. And then yesterday I did the yellow. So today I'll probably go back to black and finish the black on the bee. I'm kind of really enjoying watching it come together one thread at a time. It's kind of a fun way to do a project. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm doing 1/2 on 36 count linen, petal something or other by Fox and Rabbit. I bought this at Stitchers Inc., which is my LNS. We have a monthly meetup there. It's called 901 Stitchers is the group. We're on Facebook. If you're local to the Memphis area, definitely come look for us and join the group. And then we meet there once a month. We meet at Stitchers Inc. once a month, and that's where I bought that. Okay. So first project is catching up on butterflies. Second project is my Zan's B-Day Sal. Third project would be either my Mirabilia of the week or Marvel. So I'm gonna open this one because you're probably tired of looking at glare. So sorry for the rustling, which I actually like the plastic rustling. It's a little bit of ASMR for me when I watch my FlossTube videos. So here's my Mirabilia this week. This is the Easter Fairy. It comes in a kit. I probably got mine off of 123 Stitch. And I'll get her closer up. She's just so adorable and tiny. And I actually started this before May. This is a new start since my last video. I started it on Easter Day. And so that was probably a good week's worth of my stitching from aforementioned. I have no idea what I've been stitching on. And here is where I'm at after, I'm probably gonna need to put something behind this. This is where I'm at after those 3 or 4 days, and then I stitched on this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week. And there she is. I have had so much fun stitching on her. I am using all the called for because it came in a kit, except I switched out the linen because the linen it came with is a raw linen. And again, if you've been watching me for a while, you know I'm not a brown person. And so I switched it out for this gray. I want to say it's a Witchelt. I don't know. I don't know the name of it. I bought it. It was the first piece of fabric I honestly bought when I started cross stitching again. I bought it to do a Christmas pattern, and it didn't match the thread that was called for in the Christmas pattern. And so I just never started it because I was too much of a newbie at the time to know what I was doing. Anyway, so it's all classic colorworks. There's 3 different shades of blue and 2 different shades of really, really pale yellow. And then this is Wasabi. And then this darker green is St. Bernard. And this, I made a counting error in here somewhere, and then I based all of this stitching off of it. So I already ripped out this part and restitched it. So the next thing I have to do is rip out all of that and restitch. And then after that, all I have left is Krynic and beading. So I got really close to a finish on this one, and it's been so much fun. I haven't wanted to put it down. So I did want to put it down after I made that mistake, and that's why it was super easy for me to pick up Marvel after not having stitched on it all year. So on that note, the next piece I stitched on was Marvel Heroes. This is by Popular Cross Stitch on Etsy, which is, the last time I checked, was no longer open. I have seen the artwork charted by other shops, but I am 95% sure, 99% sure it is not licensed. So I can't really condone purchasing one of those patterns. Again, I did not know at the time, but if it helps, my husband knows the guy who drew this artwork, and my husband says that he would be tickled that I stitched it. So we'll see. Anyway, I got a page finish. I finally got my page finish. I had a little over 300 stitches left to go. And as of yesterday morning, I had 200 stitches to go, just over 200 stitches. And I did not think I was gonna make it because I stitched for an hour and a half and I had only done 38 stitches because it was all 1s and 2s. There was so much confetti, and there's like 80 something colors, 90 something colors. So I feel like I went through every single one of those 90 something colors yesterday, just trying to get all the confetti done. And aside from Spider-Man and whoever this guy is down here, which had lots of reds and oranges in it, it was all 1s and 2s. But I did it, and I can't wait to load page 7. I tried it again last night, the black and white version on Pattern Keeper, and it didn't take it. So I'm gonna go back and get the color version and put that in. And I still use Pattern Keeper to stitch because I can still mark off my stitches. It just grays it all out instead of being able to read it. But I still find that preferable to stitching on paper or stitching from PDF. Well, this pattern I can't stitch on paper because the symbols are too close, are so close that I can't, like my printer can't print detailed enough for me to be able to differentiate them. So I've always stitched from a PDF. And I just prefer being able to mark off my stitches. It's a personal thing. I've heard lots of people say that they don't like doing that. They don't like it when it grays it out, but for me, I do. So, yeah. I showed my husband last night because this is for him to hang in his office. And he was really excited that I was working on it again. So there's that. Okay, so back to my May schedule. So temperature butterflies, 1 string in BZ Spring, and then my main piece of the day is either Marvel or Mirabilia. I usually put 2 to 3 hours in on it, depending on what time I get started. I stop working on it at around 9:30 or whenever I finish the string I'm working on, and I switch to Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. And there is Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow by Carriage House Samplings, aka Kathy Barrick is the designer. It's just sold by Carriage House Samplings. And I am stitching this with Bobby from Pumpkin Creek Primitives, Sarah from Memphis Sarah E, and Sam from Sammy Liz. And I have a block finish. So I started here and I messed up and I ended up with a block that's like 2 stitches wider because I messed up when I was doing the words. And so I immediately went down to this one because I thought if I don't remember that I need to make everything 2 stitches wider, if I don't go ahead and do it now, I'm gonna forget. Well, it turned out that when I started doing the Sal with Bobby and Sam and Sarah, I stitch on it more regularly than I would have if I weren't, so I haven't forgotten it. And this was a big block, y'all. Like, it's almost full coverage. So after that, I didn't really want to do the coffins because it's almost full coverage. So I went up here and I stitched this one. So I kind of have this whole corner done now. And then I started in May with my 9:30 p.m. on, I started on that next block. So I'm going to show you the whole thing and then I will zoom in on my finish and zoom in on my new stuff. So can you see all that? I can't see. No, there you go. So there is where I'm at on the whole piece. And then, which I'm just totally in love with this. I think it looks amazing. Kathy did a really good job designing all of the Hawk Run Hollow pieces. They're all so awesome. And I am trying to pull that in too much. So there is my finish. And I'll show you the side by side right here so you can see where I was at on my last video. It's just, this tree right there was completely addictive to stitch on. I just wanted to keep stitching and stitching and stitching. It was awesome. Oh, FlossTube itchy nose. Okay, and so here is the block I've been working on this month. And I've got a good bit done already. I mean, I know I still have a ton of stitching because I have this whole moon and then there's a huge grassy area under here. But I'm having a blast stitching on it. It's a lot of black, but I'm having a blast with it. And so I will start on it around 9:30 and then I usually call it quits around 10:15. So just in 30 to 45 minutes a night. I've gotten a lot of progress done, except yesterday because I hit my page finish on Marvel. And it was a weekend, so I had stitched all day. I quit Marvel early and I started working on this early. So I got about 3 hours on this last night. So that's what allowed me to get so much done. I think last night I did a bat and then I did the pumpkin and I did his whole coat. So yeah, so that is everything I have been stitching on that I can remember for the last few weeks, and hopefully I will have found progress pictures for everything, or beginning pictures for everything, and I can give you those side by sides because I like seeing them when I'm watching videos, so I like to give them to you too. I'm sipping from my Bucky's cup today that we bought while we were driving to the beach last year. My daughter Genevieve, she is going to be 6 next month. She made me flavored water for Mother's Day. She made it like 3 days ago and told me to not touch the cup in the refrigerator under any circumstances, and then she gave it to me today. Okay, so for the rest of May, like I said, I'm gonna do the Marvel piece, and then I'm switching off one Mirabilia a week, and then there'll be 2 days, a Monday and a Tuesday at the end of May, the 30th and 31st, where I'll probably pull out Easter Fairy, knowing how close to a finish she is, and I'm gonna try to finish that out. But we'll see. It depends on my Trick or Treat Fairy, because I'm getting really close on that one as well. So it just depends which one's closer to a finish or which one I want to work on more. That's what I'll do. But next week, I'm going to work on Miss Christmas Eve. And I haven't worked on her. I don't think I've picked her up all year. I started Miss Christmas Eve on Christmas Eve last year with Sarah from Memphis Sarah E. And I worked on her for a good week straight. And I always closed the studio between Christmas and New Year's. So I think I pretty much only stitched on her between Christmas and New Year's. And I got all that done. And there she is. I dyed this fabric. It's a 28 count cachet linen that I dyed specifically for Miss Christmas Eve. And Sarah is using a slightly lighter, less modeled version for her piece as well. And that's where she's just beautiful. This is the first time. I always start in the middle, and then usually I've been working my way down and doing the skirt first. And this time, for whatever reason, I just wanted to do something different. So I worked my way up, and I got her entire face done and this crazy little headdress. All that's missing are the beads and back stitching. So I'm going to be working on her skirt, and I'm really excited because I remember when I started working on her skirt before I put her down, it was just a lot of fun. So that's what I'll be working on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then that's all my plans. I'm just going to keep going. I do have some haul to show real fast. My son, who is 11, Logan, is currently obsessed with One Piece, which is an anime show, I guess. And I have been stitching a fortnight piece for him that's full coverage. It's going to take me forever. If I knew then what I know now, I would have dyed a piece of dark blue fabric, and I would have just done the actual character. And now that I think about it, I might start him over and just do that. Anyway, so it's going to take me forever to finish, and he's not really into Fortnite right now. So I asked him, I said, theoretically, if I were stitching you a fortnight piece, that might take me a couple years to finish. Would you still want that, or would you rather have the one piece? He said, no, I'd still like the fortnight, because by the time you finish it, I might be back into it. And so I went looking, and I'm going to show this from way far back. It is a free pattern, but I don't have the image. I'll see if I can find the image and pop it in the corner. But there's the chart. It is free online. It's from Cross Stitch Quest, it looks like. I just Googled One Piece cross stitch. I think I found it on Pinterest. It's pretty small. It's 134 by 58. That's the grid size. The design area is 132 by 56, but there's a lot of color changes in here. So I haven't picked out fabric or anything, but I'm going to start that at some point for him. And then I also got the ferret. And I thought I had ordered this a couple months ago when it first came out, but it was still chilling in my cart. So when the bear came out, I bought both of them. And there they are. And I'm still working on Jackrabbit. I am several months behind. How many times do I have to say? In February, work got busy, and I just, everything else got put on hold. So, the next one I have is the Miss New Year's Eve Fairy by Mirabilia, and you need to go check out Memphis Sarah E's last FlossTube video, because she just finished this, and it is stunning. She is letting me borrow her pattern because it is sold out everywhere. These Mirabilia kits are actually really hard to get your hands on because they're limited editions. So I'm trying to find the Miss Valentine's Day one. And then there's also the Thanksgiving and the other Halloween fairy that's this size, as opposed to the one that the trick or treat fairy that I'm working on from Hirschner's. Anyway, it calls for classic colorworks, and since I just have the pattern, not the full kit, I bought these at Stitchers Inc. when I was there. And it is blue beadboard, deep fennel, black coffee, which I think I have this one already because I'm using it in Halloween Quaker, but I went ahead and got some more because I don't know how much I have left. Frosted Sage and Tyler Boy Blue. There are several other colors in this chart, but I know that I have them in the Easter Fairy chart, and I know that I have barely used any of it. So I'm just going to pull those over into this kit. And then I got one of the Krynex. This is, it's got some gold in it. It is, oops, 102, number 4. And then I got the 2 beads that are called for. I don't know if you can see those. This one is really colorful. I love it. And then I'm missing one of the Krynex. Stitchers Inc. didn't have it in stock, but Krynex has been really hard to come by lately. I talked with them at Nashville, and they're just, you know, they're having the same problems as everybody else. So that's how I ended up with the now infamous blue Krynex cone, blue ice Krynex cone that I share custody of with Memphis Sarah E. So yeah, there's that. And then the last thing I got is Home for the Holidays by Blackbird Designs. And I'm pretty sure I have some other Blackbird Designs in my stash, but I specifically wanted this book for the Christmas garden. And I've seen several people stitching this, and I just love it. And I honestly couldn't pinpoint to you what it is I love about it, but I have a feeling it's all that red and just the reds and golds and greens. I don't have any solid plans to stitch on this yet, but I know I'm starting Kringles with Memphis Sarah E in July, so I might do a Christmas in July thing. I've got a couple of other Christmas charts, including my Mirabilias, that I might stitch on, and then I might start this one as well. But the surprise, there's a lot of really good stuff in here, but the surprise piece for me, and when she handed it to me at Stitchers Inc., she basically said, let me know when you have fabric dyed for this one. So I guess I'm supposed to dye some fabric for it. This is called 'Tis the Season, and it is just gorgeous. So I'm gonna have to stitch that one too. And it's much smaller than the Christmas garden, even though that bird has some really heavy stitching on it. Look at this bird. They have a close-up of the bird. Isn't it just awesome? So yeah, I'm gonna have to stitch that one too. But there's lots of good patterns in here. I had a lot of fun looking through it. Anyway, that is all I have for you today. Sorry if I was a little bit rambly and all over the place. That's just kind of how I roll these days. I hope that you have a great week. If you are celebrating Mother's Day, I hope you have a wonderful day. And yeah, I guess that's all I have to say. And I hope whatever you do, you lead with love. Bye.